Good morning students. Before this we have seen that Rajkumar Shukla, who was a peasant of Champaran, has come to Gandhiji to complain about the injustice which was being done in Champaran by the landlords to the sharecroppers. Under an ancient arrangement, the peasants of Champaran were sharecropper, and the most of the estates or arable lands were taken by the landlord or the Britishers, and the peasants, Indian peasants, were forced to work on that. Okay, and for this purpose, for this complaint, to complain about this, Rajkumar Shukla has come to Mahatma Gandhi. Someone has said him go and complain to Gandhiji. This is the reason that he has come to Gandhiji. Okay, and Gandhiji was sitting in the annual convention of Indian National Congress on 1916. Then he all of a sudden recalled about that peasant who was looking like the other peasants. Here I would like to highlight that the condition of the Indian peasants was very worst. The condition of the Indian peasants was very worst. They were lean and thin, emaciated, poor. Okay, and Rajkumar Shukla has come to complain about the injustice. Okay, and Champaran is the district which is situated in the foothills of the towering Himalayas. In the foothills of the towering Himalayas. Okay, and Gandhiji noticed that the man was resolute, the man was determined, the man was firm. This is the reason that Gandhi said him that I am having an appointment in Kanpur and also committed to go to the other parts of India. So come to Calcutta and meet me there. Okay, and Shukla was sitting at the appointed place, and when Gandhiji became free, both of them boarded in a train for the city of Patna in Bihar. Okay, and the condition of the peasant was very worst. The condition of the peasant was very bad. So Rajkumar Shukla has not taken the man, means the Gandhiji, to his home. To his home. He directly went to the house of Rajendra Prasad, who later became president of India, as well as Congress, Indian National Congress. Okay, and Gandhiji decided to collect the data and fact regarding the condition of the peasants. So he decided that I would like to go to Muzaffarpur, because Muzaffarpur lay in the route of Champaran. Okay, and Rajkumar Shukla has explained whatever he has faced, and Gandhiji wanted to collect the fact and the data regarding this injustice. And Gandhiji sent a telegram to J.B. Kriplani, and he has met from J.B. Kriplani in Tagore Shantiniketan school. Okay, and when Gandhi arrived at midnight on 15th April 1917, Kriplani was waiting with a large number of students at the railway station, and Gandhiji stayed there for 2 days at the home of Professor Malkani. Okay, and Professor Malkani was a government teacher, and it was very difficult. It was very difficult for the government employee to harbor, to make stay such a person who was advocating about the home rule. My dear students, you know very well that Gandhiji was advocating about the home rule. So they were not allowed. The government employee, Indian government employee were not allowed to give shelter to such a person. Okay, and the news of Gandhi's reaching in Muzaffarpur reached in Muzaffarpur, Champaran, and the sharecroppers of Champaran started arriving to see their hero, to see their champion, and they came on foot and by conveyance, and Muzaffarpur liars consulted to Gandhiji, and they said that come to us and we will brief out all the matters. Okay, all the matters. They also told about their fees. Gandhiji rebuked them for collecting such a big amount of money from those sharecroppers who were unable to fill their belly, who were unable to fill their belly. So Gandhi thought that we should stop going to the law courts. We should stop going to the law court because the peasants are not going to get much more benefit from this because they are not having enough money to pay the lawyers. So how can they continue with the court? How can they be continue with the court? So and the most greatest problem that the peasants were fear stricken, under crushed. So they were not able to stand before the Britishers, before the landlords, and before the landlords. Okay. So Gandhiji said that we should stop going to law court. First of all, I have to try to make these persons, these peasants, free from the fear. Okay guys, let us proceed. Most of the arable land means agricultural land. Okay, most of the arable land in Champaran district was divided into large estates. It sits in Hindi Riyasat. Okay, and most of the agricultural land of the Champaran was divided into the states. Okay, and owned by the Englishmen and worked by Indian tenants. And the owner of these agricultural land were the Britishers, and the Indian peasants were working on them. The chief commercial crop was indigo. At that time, the main commercial crop was indigo, and the landlords compelled all tenants to plant 320 or 15% of their indigo of holdings with the indigo and surrender the entire indigo harvest as rent. And most of the peasants were forced by the landlords, by the Britishers, to cultivate, to produce 15% of their holding, the crop indigo, and they were forced to surrender all the harvest as rent. This was done by a long-term contract. This was done by a long-term contract. Okay, and this was done according to the long contract. Okay, long contract. And presently the landlords learned that Germany had developed synthetic indigo, and within short span of time, okay, in a short time, after some time, the landlords came to know about the synthetic indigo which was developed by Germany. They thereupon obtained agreements from the sharecroppers, and they collected their agreements from the sharecroppers. The landlord, the Britishers, collected the agreements from the sharecropper to pay them compensation of being released from the 15% arrangement, and they were forcing to the peasants to pay compensation as the landlords were making them free from the 15% of the land. The sharecropping arrangement was irksome. Irksome means cause of trouble, cause of pain. The sharecropping was cause of pain for the peasants, and many signed willingly. Most of the peasants signed willingly because they were very poor and they were unable to stand before the Britishers. They were unable to stand before the landlords, so they signed willingly. They were having no objection. Okay, because they wanted to survive anyhow. Okay, so they are not so they have not opposed for anything, and they signed willingly. Okay, and those who opposed engaged liars, and the peasants who opposed to the landlords, they hired the liars, and the landlords hired thugs, and landlord hired thugs. Meanwhile, the information about synthetic indigo reached the illiterate peasants who had signed, and meanwhile, at that time, the peasants who have signed willingly, they come to know about the synthetic indigo. Okay, and they wanted their money back, and whatever they have paid in compensation, all the peasants wanted their money back from the landlords. At this point, Gandhi arrived in Champaran. This was the main reason that Gandhiji has come to Champaran. Okay, he began by trying to get the facts. Gandhiji wanted to get the facts. First, he visited the secretary of the British Landlord Association. First of all, Gandhiji visited to the secretary of British Landlord Association, and the secretary told him that they could not give information to an outsider, and the secretary told to Gandhiji that I cannot provide you any data, any information, because you are an outsider. Gandhi answered that he was no outsider, but Gandhiji said that no, I am not an outsider. Next, Gandhiji called the British official commissioner of the Tirhut division in which Champaran district lay. Okay, and next Gandhiji consulted from the British official commissioner, of Tirhut division, which was in the district of in which the district of Champaran lays. The Commissioner Gandhi reports proceeded to bully me, and it was reported by Gandhiji that the Commissioner has tried to bull me, tried to make me outside of his office, means धक्का मुक्की करना in Hindi. Okay, and forthwith to leave Tirhut, and he also asked me to leave Tirhut, Gandhi did not leave. Gandhi has not left that place. Instead, he proceeded to Motihari. Okay, instead of leaving the place, Gandhiji moved forward towards Motihari, the capital of Champaran. Motihari was the capital of Champaran at that time. Several liars accompanied him. Okay, Gandhiji was followed by many liars. Okay, at the railway station, a multitude greeted Gandhiji. At railway station, Gandhiji was welcomed by a group of persons, by the crowd. Okay, a mass was gathered and at the railway station, and he was welcomed there. And Gandhiji, he went to a house, and Gandhiji went in a house using it as a headquarter, and Gandhiji started using that house just like the headquarter. As a headquarter, continued his investigation, and Gandhi has not stopped his investigation. He was continuously doing his investigation. A report came to that a peasant had been maltreated in nearby village. A report came to Gandhiji that a peasant in nearby village was treated badly by the landlord. Okay, by the landlord. The next morning he started out on the back of an elephant. Okay, and next morning Gandhi started out his journey to see. What has happened to that peasant. Okay, and Gandhiji was riding on the back of an elephant. He had not proceeded far. Gandhiji had not gone too far when the policeman superintendent's messenger overtook him, and Gandhiji has not gone too far, and he was overtaken by the messenger of the superintendent. And the messenger ordered him to return to town, and Gandhiji was ordered to return to the town in his carriage. Gandhiji was asked to return. Gandhiji was ordered to return to the town in his carriage. Gandhiji complied. Gandhiji obeyed. Complied means obeyed. Gandhiji complied. Gandhiji obeyed. The messenger drove Gandhi home, where he served with him an official notice to quit Champaran immediately. And the messenger drove Gandhiji back to the house, back to the same house in which Gandhiji has made his headquarters. And he was given an official notice, and this was written in the notice to leave Champaran as soon as possible. Gandhiji signed a receipt for the notice and wrote on it that he disobeyed the order. Okay, and Gandhiji signed a receipt, and he has written that he is disobeying. Okay, he disobeyed the order. In consequence, as a result, Gandhiji received a summon to appear in the court. As a result, Gandhiji was given a summon, and he was asked to appear in the court. Okay. All night Gandhi remained awake. Gandhi could not sleep throughout the night. Gandhi could not sleep all night. He telegraphed Rajendra Prasad to come from Bihar with influential friends, and Gandhiji telegraphed Rajendra Prasad and asked him to come to Bihar with some good friends, some influential friends, some powerful friends. He sent instruction to the ashram, and some instructions were sent to the ashram by Gandhiji. He wired a full report to Viceroy, Gandhiji gave some instruction to the ashram. He wired a full report to the Viceroy, and he also informed to the Viceroy about this. Morning found the town of Motihari black with the peasants. Okay, early in the morning, much more peasants gathered at Motihari. They did not know Gandhi's record in South Africa, and they were totally unacquainted that what was done by Mahatma Gandhi in South Africa. But the people has come to know that there was a man, there was a saint, there was a simple man who wanted to help to the peasants of Champaran, and he was in trouble. This is the reason that the peasants started coming, and they were gathered all around Motihari. And they had merely heard that a Mahatma who wanted to help them was in a trouble with the authorities. These peasants have come to know that there was a Mahatma who wanted to help them, was in the trouble due to the authorities. Their spontaneous demonstration in thousands around the courthouse was the beginning of their liberation from the fear of the British. Thousands of the peasants were continuously demonstrating outside of the court, and it means that they are going to be free from the fear of the Britishers. The official felt powerless without Gandhi cooperation. Cooperation means help. It was difficult for the officer to continue with the case without the help of Gandhiji, and he helped them to regulate the crowd. Gandhiji helped the officers to regulate means control the crowd. He was polite, and Gandhiji was very polite, very simple, very tender, very soft and friendly, and he was friendly in nature. He was giving them concrete proof that their might, hitherto dreaded and unquestioned, should be challenged by Indians. And Gandhi wanted to prove to the Britishers, Gandhiji wanted to tell to the Britishers how much powerful you are, that does not matter, but we Indians are always ready to face your challenge. The government was baffled, perplexed, confused. The government became confused, and the prosecutor requested the judge to postpone the trial. And the prosecutor means who has sent the summon, they said that please postpone the matter. Apparently the authorities wished to consult their superiors. He wanted to postpone the trial, but the authorities wanted to consult from their superiors. Gandhiji protested against the delay. Gandhiji noticed that the court is taking much more time in giving the decision, so Gandhiji opposed, and he said that you are making delay. He read a statement pleading guilty, and Gandhiji read a statement in which he was found guilty. He was involved. He told a court in a conflict of duties, and Gandhiji told that this is due to conflict of the duties. On one hand, not to be set a bad example as a lawbreaker. One side, Gandhiji did not want to prove himself as a lawbreaker, and on the other hand, to render the humanitarian and the national service. And the second thing, I am doing the service of the humanity, and I am doing my national service, for which he had come, and for this purpose I have come here. He disregarded the order to leave. So he refused the order to leave the place, not for want of respect for lawful authority. It does not mean that I am not respecting lawful authority. No, I am respecting, but in obedience to a higher law of our being. But I am following the higher law, and I am hearing the voice of my conscience. I asked the penalty due, and I asked to the court about my penalty. The magistrate announced that he would pronounce sentence after 2 hours recess, and asked Gandhiji to furnish means fill bail for those 120 minutes. And the magistrate announced that there will be a recess of 2 hours, and in these 2 hours Gandhiji have to fill the bail. Gandhiji refused to fill the bails. The judge released him without bail, and the judge released Gandhiji without any bail. When the court restarted, the judge said that he would not deliver the judgment for several days, and the judge said that I am not going to deliver my judgment for several days. Meanwhile, he allowed Gandhi to remain at liberty, and he said Gandhiji that you can remain at liberty. Okay guys, thank you, have a nice day.